I love George Clooney branching out, playing an older guy who is maybe unhappy with the choices he made in his life because he's never done that before. And by that, I'm kidding because he's done that a lot. We have
I was going
Jay.
to say, he does that for every movie. What
Yeah,
was that airport movie that he was in?
Up in the Air.
Oh, I
Yep.
hated that movie.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Nerdy and Nice. I'm John. That is Lacey, and we're here to talk to you about all the things we love in TVs, movie, and pop culture outside of Star Wars, because you may know us from the Resistance broadcast, but this is our other podcast called Nerdy and Nice to talk about all the other stuff. And Lacey, we have a loaded show. We have 5 trailers we're going to be talking about, including the big one that's going to make probably $2 billion. Avatar, Fire and Ash.
Oh, I
We
thought you
also
were going to
have-
say people we meet on vacation, because I was going to say yes.
Oh, yeah, that's going to make $2 billion. But yeah, we're going to talk about the Frankenstein trailer from Guillermo del Toro, Daisy Ridley's next feature that's coming out the day after New Year's about zombies, because we can't get enough zombie movies or TV shows. And then even some Avengers news, dipping back into Marvel a little bit here and what we're watching. So, Lacey, to start things off, did you get a giggle out of the play on The Force Awakens cast photo that they did for the Spaceballs Part 2, or Spaceballs 2?
I did. And the funniest part about it was I saw it come up on my feed like pretty early on. I don't know. I just happened to be on like right when they posted it. And at first I thought it was The Force Awakens. I was like, oh, what is this? And then I realized it wasn't. And then I was like, oh, they're spoofing it. And it's one of those things that like Star Wars fans immediately know what they're doing. They even have like the stuff in the background, stuff in a box. Like they had R2-D2 in the box, and like it was just really, really hilarious. I'm all for it, which means that this film is going to be a Force Awakens spoof, it seems like.
Yeah, they may play on some of the more modern stuff. Obviously, Josh Gad is the one heavily involved with it, and we know how connected he was with like Daisy Ridley and being
Sequel
obsessed
trilogies,
with
yeah.
spoilers for the sequel trilogy and stuff. And he's a big Disney guy, so that all makes sense. I'm skeptical about it. I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest Spaceballs fan.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, it has its place in time. It was a great parody for the time, but I never connected with it or loved it all that much. There are certain lines or bits that I do think are funny, but Rick Moranis, of course, I'm glad he's coming back. That's really cool. But you know, John Candy's not there. Joan Rivers isn't there. So we'll see, you know, what they were able to pull off here. I just hope, and someone joked about this, it was online somewhere, and I think I had joked about this on this podcast when we first heard they were doing this, that I could totally see Josh Gad making himself a dog and being like Barf's son or something like that. So
yeah, maybe. I do notice how they have a pizza on the chair.
Pizza the Hut, yeah.
It's so funny. I think that's what they're basically saying, is that they're going to be doing sequel trilogy themes and spoofs and jokes because it's been long enough that it makes sense that they would do that, because you can kind of explain away the time difference.
Yeah, and that's fine. I'll check it out. I don't know if I'm gonna go to the theaters to see it unless people are like, Rick Moranis is back and he's unbelievable, because I love Rick Moranis and I'm glad he's getting back in the mix. He's been retired for a long time.
The last time I heard about him was when he got punched.
Yeah,
when someone punched him. Remember that?
Yeah, in New York, I think.
Yeah.
Canadian goes to New York and he's like, never again. Especially a New York hero like Rick Moranis, you know, Louis Tully in the Ghostbusters Part 2. What a hero. But other good news, we don't have no big stories for DC in our main news this week, but Superman launched with 13 million views on HBO Max, the biggest movie debut on the service since Barbie, and we know how big Barbie was. So Superman still getting wins. Lacey, have you seen it yet?
It is on my list. I went through a list of everything I need to watch. I made a little spreadsheet. It's on my to watch list. I'm probably going to try to watch it this weekend, coming weekend. So not when this episode came out, the next one, I will be giving my thoughts.
All right. Very cool. All right. Shall we? I mean, we got 5 trailers. There's a lot. Shall we just get after it?
We should. Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh, God, I love that movie.
All right, let's start with the big one. We got James Cameron, Avatar Fire and Ash hitting theaters December 19th. The third movie in the series of Avatar of 5, I believe. And this was filmed at the same time as The Way of Water, the second one.
So they did
So
1, 2, and 2? Is that how they filmed it?
that's my guess, is that they're going to film
Mm.
4 and 5 together.
I think they already did.
They've already filmed 4 and 5?
I thought they already filmed 4 and 5. Like,
Wow.
that was the big thing is that he had done.
Oh, good. Then maybe he can make that Terminator movie he's talking about. Which, by the way, the kid from Stranger Things who plays Jonathan, his name's like Charlie Heaton.
Mhm.
He would be a perfect adult John Connor because he kind of looks like Eddie
Yes,
Furlong.
I thought that for a long time, yes.
Yeah. If they
So,
ever do that, I think that would be perfect.
agreed. I am wrong. Avatar 4, had part of its first act filmed, but filming for both Avatar 4 and 5 is expected to resume in 2026 after
Okay.
the
Yep.
release of 3.
Okay.
Yep,
Well, they're all going to make a lot of money. James
they are.
Cameron rarely fails. And Lacey, what do you think of this trailer? One, is it a good trailer? And are you going to find yourself in a theater watching a 3D spectacle, whether it's IMAX or not, of Avatar Fire and Ash?
So I need to get caught up on Avatar. 2 is on the list, the spreadsheet I made. I haven't gone through it yet because I think it came out at a time that I was like, I can't sit through a 3-hour movie right now. I'm pretty sure I had a baby at the time. But now I have a little bit more time at night, so I will find time to watch it. I adored Avatar 1 and saw it multiple times in the movie theater. I really liked Avatar. This trailer is beautiful. It's incredibly fascinating. All the different characters, and you see the story of the Fire and Ash kind of clan, how clearly they had a volcano erupt that destroyed their whole way of life and killed people, and the big tree, the Awa god that protects them in episode, but number 1, which brings Jake Sully back to life. The woman who's seemingly the bad person but isn't, she's just like kind of the Fire and Ash like evil clan, is upset that her people called out for help and wasn't saved. And man,
Mm-hmm.
is that a great story of like, how come your clan got saved and not mine? How come Jake Sully got saved and my people didn't? So why would I ever save you, trust you, and or believe in the God that you believe in if I was not spared? Um,
Yeah.
Man, such a good story. So that caught me immediately in the trailer. Overall, I will say though, as someone that really, really likes a good trailer, I like cutting trailers. I like watching trailers. I've been fooled many a time to watch a movie or a show on a good trailer. And I like that. I like being fooled by a good trailer because it takes a lot of skill to find the perfect clips and narrative and quotes and sound bites and L cuts to bring people into a story without giving too much away. Like it's an
Yeah.
art. And I feel like sometimes you either give too much away or you have no semblance of, I would guess, a story or a tease or this to me. And I feel like I've been saying this a lot. So I apologize if I am. This trailer, and I feel like I felt like this for the last one, feels like a montage. It doesn't feel like a trailer. Like there's bits and pieces here and there of like her story and her quote of like my no one came. So you're like, okay, that's the story. Like they feel bad. But then other than that, it's like stay with your sister. Do this, do that. Like there's no text on the screen to give you some type of connection through the story. There's no announcer. There's no like it just seemed like a bunch of different cuts brought together with this wonderful music and beautiful vistas from the movie, with all these cool creatures and sound. And it was just very strange to me how there were moments where like you would hear the characters breathing or like, oh, struggling or groaning or whatever. But it didn't like there was no music that connected it all together or any type of
Hmm.
cut that way. So am I excited to see this movie and see what has been created in this world? 100%. It looks amazing. and I do like the storyline. But this trailer itself, I wouldn't say is a good trailer. I would say it's just kind of
Ooh,
montage hype piece. I wouldn't
okay.
say it's like there of the other trailers in this grouping that we're about to watch, there are better ones here.
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know what the goal is with trailers for Avatar at this point, but
Right.
I'm leaning towards they are looking for a bunch of hooks to get people to say, I gotta see that on a big screen
You're right.
more than, the story and stuff like that. I'm not saying the story's not important. They did lay out sort of where the major players are. Even Quaritch, the bad guy from the first one, he becomes uh, an avatar for the second one.
I guess
And
my thing is like they didn't really bring any type of hype to the movie event. Like the franchise worth over blah 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 billions of dollars. See it on the big screen. A movie
they might
event of
not
the
need to
year.
with this movie. That's the thing.
And that might be the thing. Yes. They
But
totally could be saying that. But I feel like there wasn't any encouragement for me to see this.
that's fair. I thought it was a really good trailer because I think it does enough to get people to want to go see that on a big
Mm,
screen, especially in
mm,
3D and what have you.
mm.
Every time they make one of these movies, it's gonna get better and better visually. And the real hook for this one was seeing those things coming out of the water.
The
I was like,
whales,
oh
right? Is that a
man,
whale?
I think so. The vertical rise there, the slow rise, I'm not sure if that's a different type of creature than what we saw in the
I thought it
second
was their
one.
tail.
Might have been. I
Yeah.
thought I almost saw like rings and stuff, but
Mm.
nostrils, I don't know what that was. But what we're seeing here is it looks like this fire clan who's led by actress Una Chaplin, who played Talisa in Game of Thrones. So she's going to become a household name after this. Is pairing with that Quaritch, and he's sort of like nobody's friend at this point, so he's latching on with them. And it looks like we're gonna get a real like Pandora civil war in this one. And my question going in is, are these volcanic eruptions being caused by the drilling that's happening by the humans
That's what
trying
I
to get
thought.
that unobtainium stuff? Is it causing, like earthquakes leading to these
Or was it an
volcanoes?
explosion that then took off like a wildfire type situation?
So eventually, I imagine by the end of this movie, the fire people are going to come to terms with the rest of the Na'vi and point their direction back at the real villains, which, maybe there's a new fleet of humans coming in that were sent after the first mission or something like that. But we're clearly in the middle of the story. It's part 3 of 5, so we're looking at a lot of climax here, a lot of heavy conflict, probably internal conflict, more so even than the second one. And I like seeing the progression of the characters, like little Spider, the human. So I think this is a good trailer, but I get your point about it. I almost
Yeah.
feel like they're like, we know this one's going to make a lot of money, so let's just give them the visual stuff so that they can talk about the visual stuff so that they go to the theater
They get their
and
screenshots.
see
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so that's going to make a ton of money no matter whether or not we talk about it. So let's move on to one that I think you're excited about. I saw you tweet
Oh.
about it. We got People
Oh.
We Meet on Vacation, starring superstars Emily Bader and Tom Blythe, who I don't know. But that hits Netflix on January 9th. So, Lacey, I'm sorry to say, probably no Oscars for this one, but what do you think of the trailer? And what is this a copy and paste blueprint type of rom-com where it's like these two people who don't really they don't realize they like each other and then they end up liking each other on a vacation type of thing?
So, People We Meet on Vacation is a best-selling, international best-selling book by Emily Henry. Emily Henry has also sold the rights, I believe, to several other of her books, like Beach Read, Book Lovers, Funny Story are all popular books by her as well, which I haven't read yet, but I just finished because this movie was coming out, People We Meet on Vacation. So it's interesting. She has like a whole, and this is Emily Henry, has a whole kind of like cinematic universe within her books that like the characters in this are reading a book from someone of another book, and then someone's a lawyer or something in another book that's
Is it
it's all connected.
autobiographical at all? Because I noticed the character's named Emily as well.
No, I think that's just coincidence that the actress's name is named Emily and Tom Blythe is he was just President Snow in the was it Snakes and Songbird
Oh, the
movie
prequel. Yeah.
with Rachel Zegler. He
Yeah.
was the main character President Snow in that. So he got this
Gotcha.
after that.
Oh.
But yeah, so I just finished this book. It is your typical rom-com where you have the quirky girl that doesn't fully understand herself, meets this guy, doesn't understand how attractive she is. He doesn't understand how
Ah.
attractive he is. And the premise is that she is someone that always liked traveling and going on vacation and started a blog. And through the blog, then got a writing position at a magazine that does reviews of trips and resorts and different like where you should be traveling. It's called R&R is the magazine, I believe. And so the main character, her name is Poppy. She meets Alex in college and they stay friends the whole time. And there are glimpses here and there, and the book takes place over the course of their relationship of meeting in college and then to current times where they're not talking and like going back and forth, kind of
Like
jumping
a Harry Met
timelines.
Sally type of thing.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it goes back and forth of like when they met, when they didn't meet, which is funny because the actor Tom Blythe was saying how someone had asked him when he got the role, like what kind of characters in rom-coms are you really attracted to? And he was like, "Oh, Meg Ryan, definitely. Meg Ryan is like the one that I like."
There it
And
is.
then when describing his co-star Emily Bader, he described her as the next Meg Ryan. So we'll see how it goes. I am a big stickler for like not including scenes that I find personally important in books and movies. Um, Specifically, you know, it could be the dumbest thing, like Hermione's dress is the wrong color in the movie compared to the book. Like that bothered me. Or like Harry Potter's hair is consistently different lengths when the whole point of the book is that no matter how many times he cuts his hair, it then grows back because he's magical. Like that kind of stuff bothers me. But then in like Hunger Games, there's scenes where Peeta and Katniss had really close romantic situations, like in Catching Fire. They go up on the roof during this, like, and watch the sunrise and sunset before they go to the games. They totally didn't include that in the movie, and it pissed me off because I was like, that's such a like pivotal scene to their relationship before they go to die. Um, I'm hoping that they capture these characters. So far, the trailer looks like they did a pretty darn good job.
Nice.
They're both really charming. She's doing the whole quirky vibe, like, "Oh, didn't see you there. Oh, hee hee, I sing to myself in the airport." I'm like so lovable and cute and fashionable, but same,
A little
but relatable.
awkward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
relatable.
Yeah. Lovable.
um,
Yeah.
but this is a big hit amongst readers and rom-com lovers, and I think it's going to be a huge hit for Netflix, and they know it.
Yeah. I do think it'll pop up in that top 10 right away on Netflix.
Yeah,
I'll watch it. You know me. I like rom-coms. I'll give this one a shot for sure.
I can't wait to talk
Um,
about it
yeah, and
eventually
it comes out January
next year.
9th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right after New Year's. Next up, I mean, I love George Clooney branching out, playing an older guy who is maybe unhappy with the choices he made in his life because he's never done that before. And by that, I'm kidding because he's done that a lot. We have
I was gonna say he does that for every movie. What
Yeah,
was that airport movie that he was in?
Up in the Air.
Oh, I
Yep.
hated that movie.
Yeah. He has done this quite a few times. Even Ocean's 11, he's like,
I'm too old
Tess.
for this.
Tess, if I could do it all over again, Tess. It's like, all right, George. Um,
But he
but we
still
got
looks the same though. He has a great
yeah,
regimen, moisturizing
yeah.
routine,
Well, he
plastic
went gray.
surgeon,
When you
whatever
go
you want.
gray young, it sustains, and that's my hope. Um, so we have Jay Kelly with George Clooney, supported by Laura Dern, Billy Crudup, who I love, and the Sandman, Adam Sandler. Love seeing Sandler doing more of these types of movies beyond the Happy Madison cinematic universe, which I do love, even though Happy Gilmore 2 was pretty rough. But this one is getting a limited theater run November 14th, obviously for some award consideration potential, but Netflix December 5th, which with people knowing that, it's almost like they're setting themselves up for people not to go see this in theaters. But we'll see. But Lacey, what'd you make of this trailer? And are you a Clooney fan?
I wouldn't say I'm like like, oh my god, I have to see every George Clooney movie, but he's fine. He's good. He's very charismatic. He seems very charming. Like he's what you would picture as a movie star. So it's funny that in this movie he's playing himself basically. It's very interesting that it seems like everything that's coming out of his mouth is something that he might say. And I think that's
Yeah.
the point.
Yep.
It's obviously like one of those life reflective type movies.
Exactly. Yeah.
I knew in the beginning when he was sitting there and he's in New York, it looked like because the Pepsi Cola thing was in the background, that like he wasn't actually shot. I was like, oh, so they're gonna come back and he's gonna be like getting up, and then at the end of the trailer, like, and cut, and I was like, there it is.
Yeah.
This is a great trailer. I thought it was really well done. I thought they picked really good quotes. I like the little montagey pieces of him smiling and interacting with other people. They had, of course, the great Laura Dern giving her little like, oh, I hate you, but I can't tell you that type stuff. You know, oh, I'm mad at you, but I can't be mad at you because you're my boss. And we know that it's done by Noah Baumbach, who's married to Greta Gerwig, who's been known to he helped with Barbie, he did Marriage Story on Netflix with Laura Dern. He loves Laura Dern. And then also that's why I believe you see Greta in this at one point. Is that
Yeah.
Greta with Adam Sandler? Yeah.
I thought so. Yeah.
So to me, when I was watching this and I saw his name come up, the Noah name, I was like, oh, so this is gonna be like super depressing because Noah Baumbach like loves those depressing type
That's a good
movies.
point. I didn't really think about that. Yeah.
Yeah, he loves, which
Oh
is understandable, the
no.
human relatable sadness, like
I think do this
really.
thing where this guy has like a terminal illness and then he tries to right all his wrongs and stuff. Is this gonna be one of those movies?
Oh, he has like cancer or something?
Oh no, I hope
Because he
not.
keeps talking about how like life, like he's going on the, and everyone's like, "What's
He,
wrong with you?"
very existential. Yeah.
Yeah, and his own
Um.
daughter leaves, and I feel like he's doing it to save them. It comes across very Michael Scott's Leaving Today and Not Tomorrow. Like,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
you know? Um, yeah, I would assume that because I mean, I'm talking about Noah like I know him, but I don't. I'm just calling because I don't want to say his full name over and over again. He consistently does movies like this where the person's like very reflective of their life. Like, what does it all mean? Human interaction, finding happiness in small moments. Like, that's his MO.
It's getting solid critical buzz. So you wonder is Clooney won for best supporting actor for Syriana, man, 19 years ago.
Hmm.
Um, South Park spoofed the smog from his speech.
Oh, Kyle Solar is in this for a quick moment
Oh,
from
cool.
Andor.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Uh, but yeah, I think it's a good trailer too. I think the cast is really strong, so
Yes.
I really enjoy that element of it. Um, and I don't know if it's loosely based on anybody. I doubt it is because it just seems too much of a Hollywood type of fictional story. But I like George Clooney. He's charming and he's still got his fastball. I'm not saying he's old or anything, but he's been in the game for a long time now, and it looks like he may be trying to hunt down the Best Actor Oscar if this thing gets any buzz. But I thought it was a really good trailer too. I'll probably check it out on Netflix if I'm being completely honest with you. I don't think I'm going to theaters 2 weeks before Thanksgiving when this comes out 3 weeks later on Netflix. But that's
Mm.
what they do now, and if they're going to tell you that in advance, they can't be upset at people not rolling up paying
I don't think
$60 for you and a friend or a date to
Yeah, I
go
don't think
see this.
Netflix cares. I think they see it as we wanna get awards.
Yeah.
So, we're willing to eat the cost of putting in a theater. Plus, a lot of these directors now are saying, "Hey, I won't make a movie with you unless you put it into the theater a little bit."
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I do think that's going to be good, and I do think it was a good trailer. And I'm glad to see that Billy Crudup is in it. He's an underrated actor, and I almost like him in everything he's in.
What do I picture him in? What is he most known for?
Almost Famous. He plays the Russell, the main guitar player
I've
who's on the
never seen
roof.
that.
Oh, you got to see that. He's Dr. Manhattan in Watchmen.
Oh, yes.
Big Fish. He plays the son.
The Big Fish. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Big Fish, yeah.
And he's the voice of MasterCard. For
Oh,
everything
of
else,
course.
there's MasterCard.
Of course.
When life gets you down. This next one looks huge, and it's Guillermo del Toro's take on Frankenstein. And this, talk about big casts. You got Mia Goth, who's white hot right now, on her way, probably filming right now in a
For
galaxy
Star
far, far
Wars,
away for
yeah.
Starfighter. But you also have Star Wars veteran Oscar Isaac, Jacob Elordi, and Christoph Waltz, who I would love for him to be in Star Wars one day. But he is so. I just watched Inglorious Bastards again recently, and my God, that guy, he's so good.
I think all these people are really good.
Yeah.
Oscar's been getting a lot of praise for stuff.
So, but this is another one. So we got theaters October 17th.
Get that spooky season.
Netflix 3 weeks later, November 7th. But Lacey, I'll just start by saying I'm not gonna pretend, and I think we touched on this last week when there was another Frankenstein type of movie we were talking about.
It was the Christian Bale
the Christian
one.
Bale one.
Yeah.
So it's Franken season apparently, like they do with movies.
The Bride
Deep
one.
Impact, Armageddon, yeah.
Yep.
This movie just looks big. The music sounds classic but powerful, and it looks like we're going to get some seriously heavy performances. I'm really interested in this movie, and I plan on seeing it. It's going to be on Netflix. I don't get.
I'm gonna wait to watch on.
Yeah, it's hard for both of us to get to the theaters these days, so we got to be choosy with it. But if you know in 3 weeks you're getting it on Netflix, we're still going to throw our support behind it. If it's good, we're still going to check it out. But Lacey, I'm going to watch this one. It's probably 3 hours and 45 minutes or something like that. It looks like it might be. But this trailer, this was a great trailer to me because it shrouded everything in mystery. I don't know exactly who is what and what's going on, but I was so pulled in by the visuals and also the clearly heavily dramatic performances. So I'm pretty dialed into Frankenstein. I'm going to watch this, and I think this trailer hooked me in. So I'm saying this is a great trailer. What about you?
If there's one thing Guillermo del Toro does is beautiful films. Like Pan's Labyrinth is a stunning film. I remember seeing that. It's such a vivid film experience for me because the whole like Mr. Hands guy when he wakes up, oh my God, I have never been more anxious in a movie. I also loved The Shape of Water, which he obviously won Oscars for. It's just he loves monsters. He loves monsters. He did Pacific Rim, and this is no different. This film looks, oh my God, the sound's playing. And I meant to talk about it while it's playing, and it just got really loud in my ears. The movie looks amazing. It's very, like you said, like epic scale, big sets, beautiful shots, shooting through a tunnel. Then there's crazy. I talk about lighting a lot. The lighting in this film is impeccable. Like they choose specific lighting sources for their characters. And I don't know if it's per recent years, like with Nosferatu or Shape of Water, I can't help but feel like this monster guy is gonna have a romance with Mia Goth in this film. I think it's very obvious that something is going on with the way that they kind of run to each other. And he even says in the trailer, he's like, if you won't give me love, then I'll give you rage. I'm like, yo, Guillermo just wants all the monsters to get it on. Shape of Water, she does the monster. Like they have a whole bit where they talk about what his equipment looks like. Do you remember that? Did you see it? And she like talks about how it like folds out or something with her hands. Yeah, I was watching this and I was like, oh, so they're getting it on in this movie. And he made the Frankenstein like really hulky looking, like very like beefy.
Yes. So who's playing Frank the monster?
Jake Forty, who was in the trailer recently for the Wuthering Heights trailer. It's like the big beefy guy. He's big. He's also in what's that HBO show? Euphoria. He's like the big guy. Yeah, he's also in the rom-com Kissing Booth.
Yeah. Oh, and so Oscar Isaac's playing Frankenstein, the scientist. Okay.
The scientist, not the monster.
Yeah.
He's playing the monster. And I'm like, you don't get someone that's tall, brooding, muscly, and then put him in muscly, brooding prosthetics and have him say lines like, if you won't give me love.
So
if he's not going to have some type of romance.
the Wikipedia, I mean, I think I trust mostly the things I see on Wikipedia. People can judge me for that if they want. I don't care. But it says here Mia Goth is playing Elizabeth, who is William's fiance, and William is Victor Frankenstein, the scientist's younger brother. She's playing his fiance, but Victor, his brother, has feelings for her. So
If I was to guess, and I have no understanding of the story of Frankenstein, so I apologize if anybody listening is a big Frankenstein fan or has read the book or knows the lore. I don't. I'm going purely on what this trailer is saying to me. This trailer is saying to me that she finds a connection to this Frankenstein and they build a connection, love, what have you, lust, etc. Frankenstein ends that by either getting her to leave, killing her, accident, something happens where she can no longer be with him and separates them. So that's why Frankenstein goes on a mission to destroy Dr. Frankenstein's life. He goes, if you can't let me have this and you're going to bring me back to life to not let me live my life, then I'm going to kill you.
I'm gonna burn it all down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's definitely a tragedy type of story. Um, Also, another Star Wars person in this, Lars Mikkelsen, is playing Captain Anderson. So you got a
Oh,
lot of
that's
Star
awesome.
Wars people popping in here. But yeah, this looks really good. It looks classic, but
Oh,
so
the
modern.
titles, how they shake a
Yeah.
little bit. Did you notice that?
Yes.
How they have that like
Yeah.
film grainy look?
It
Yeah.
has that total feel to it, and I absolutely love that, especially for a story as classic as Frankenstein. So I think this looks really, really good, and I'm going to watch it for sure. And maybe
Me
that'll be
too.
my gateway into Frankenstein or something. But
Yeah.
all right, we have one more trailer, and it is another Star Wars veteran. We have Daisy Ridley in theaters the day after New Year's, January 2nd. So
Kicking off the
three
year with some death.
3 months from today, and it's more zombies as we bury the dead. Lacey, I know we both love Daisy Ridley. We both support Daisy Ridley. Young Woman in the Sea, I thought she was great in. I still have to see a couple of her others that have come out recently. But what'd you think of this trailer? And are you buying this movie?
This trailer was so well done. It's absolutely terrifying. Daisy Ridley is amazing throughout it. Like every second she's on screen, you can't help but look like you have to watch everything she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, very scary. Won't be seeing this. It looks
Oh, yeah. Okay.
even though I love Daisy, I don't think I could sit through this. Like there was a baby at some point crying, looking like it was like left outside I was like, I can't do kids dying, babies, stuff like that. Like the one lady was pregnant.
Oh, they always do that. That's such a cheap move, and they always do it. Like
I
the
hate it.
Quiet Place.
No, 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 she was dead pregnant in the bed, and Daisy Ridley walks in, she's like, and now I don't know if those 2 scenes are next to each other, but they cut it that way. So,
Yeah.
it's just yeah, terrifying. I
Yeah.
ate and then they're like, "Oh, yeah, the zombies are not bad, like, they're totally docile," and, like, clearly she's getting chased through a bus, and then I'll she's gonna be incredible in this, and I can't wait to watch clips online that people post, but
And
I can't sit through it. I hate zombies. I hate them.
and she's looking for her husband, and they're not telling us exactly what happened,
Oh, the
but
voicemail, how they put the
yeah,
voicemail over the trailer of her being like, "I'm still trying.
yeah,
I'm still here." I'm like, "Oh god." And this is what I'm talking about. I put myself in that scenario and I'm like, "What would I do? Would I go searching? Like, would I do this? How would
yeah,
I'd die so quick in a zombie apocalypse, like not even funny. I
yeah.
would
Me
die
too.
so fast. I'm too scared to do anything. Like I don't have the ability to like follow through on what Daisy does in this trailer, which is like bashing someone in. I could never do that.
Yeah.
I say that though, and if my kids were in danger, I probably would. But
Oh no, I would have no problem smashing up some zombies. I just would probably get killed because I'm not good at warfare. But
ugh,
um,
yeah.
I I thought this was a really good trailer too. But I'm gonna agree with you on this one and say I also am not feeling compelled to watch this because, like I've been saying for a while now, I'm with how things are going with the world right now. I'm good with the whole like post-apocalyptic,
The world sucks.
yeah, just um, like the world falling apart, societal end, and the end of humanity, and all the types of things that come with the themes of these zombie movies, which are they all have political allegory in one way or another. So, and I also think like with The Last of Us, and I feel like there's been like zombie stuff
Too
has
much.
been this century particularly, from the comedies like Zombieland to the serious stuff,
Walking
I Am
Dead.
Legend. There's been just too many of them at this point where I feel like it's sort of, even Marvel just did a zombie thing with the Avengers.
They did.
It's like I feel like they're beating us over the head with zombie stuff to the point where I'm getting vanilla to it. And I'm also, like I said, I don't want to see dystopian stuff when I fear that we're leaning towards that in the real world. So
I need to escape, and if it feels too real, I'm starting to I tune it out.
yeah.
That's why I want to watch people fall in love.
Well,
Frankenstein, I'll watch because that's a different time
completely
period.
fantastical, where
Fantastical, yeah.
this is fantastical, but it's telling you, like, it's reminding you of like realities about the society and the world.
The
and
Navi is
death
on a
and-
different planet, different
Yeah.
world. Okay, cool. But like when it gets too real, I don't want to.
Yeah. I bet this movie ends with like The Fly, where like she has to kill her own husband at the end or something like that.
I mean, they kind of hint at that in the trailer. They're like, if you find your husband, like.
But she's gonna do it. Like it's gonna be like.
Do you think that's maybe the shot that they show where she has blood all over and she's just dragging the axe down the road?
Oh, that's the end of the movie, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, that would be ballsy to put that in the trailer as the end of the movie, but I mean, we'll see, I guess.
And
I'm
then,
sure
like, the
people are going to
last-
post clips of this movie, but it got really good reviews from like horror specific, like bloody disgusting and stuff, said it was great. And the
Like
reason I saw
she-
this trailer was I think Disgusting Film said it was amazing.
Disgusting film.
Did I say Disgusting Film?
No, but you just said disgusting and then
Oh.
disgusting film. So I was like, blah, blah, blah. No, but yeah. And then I heard at the end, after she kills all the zombies, she's walking down the street with the axe, and she looks ahead and she sees like a person, and it's shirtless Adam Driver to embrace her, and that's how
You're
the movie ends.
so lame. You can't just
All right.
leave stuff alone.
That is it for the trailers. A good run of trailers. Took up more than half the episode, but we do have a couple of news stories to get into, including some pretty hypocritical, controversial stuff. So let's fire up the engines and see what's going on.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. Enough, I get the point.
So first up is a story that's pretty straightforward. It's a superhero news update, which is Avengers Doomsday set photo revealed by the Russo brothers on their Instagram page. Excuse me. And it's making fans think that the X-Men are showing up. So John, do you think that's what's happening in this image? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I just see a lot of green screen, but I'm assuming because they're sitting in a chair, they're thinking maybe that might be
Professor X?
Is it him? Because you can't tell, but it might be a sit-in.
It looks like that person has hair.
That's what I was saying, but it's a folding chair too. Like, are they just testing? Are they doing a film test?
That could just be like literally a crew member sitting on a chair, and they're like, let's F with everybody.
I know, but to be fair, the Russo brothers did caption it with "look hard."
Yeah, and that's why everybody started doing that, like, picture
Enhance.
finder thing.
Enhance.
Yeah, like that thing at the corner of the bar where you're like, all right, point out this with your finger and stuff. But I don't know. I would love to see. I think the X-Men are going to be introduced in the new Avengers series so that they can get as many eyeballs as they can, because a lot of people are going to go see this, no matter how people are feeling about Marvel and the post Endgame. Like, it's hard to live up to Endgame in the way for us as Star Wars fans. It was hard to recapture The Force Awakens or even the Phantom Menace. So I don't think people should be aiming that high, but people are going to go see this movie. It's going to make a lot of money. It's going to make $1 billion at least, maybe even more, depending on what the reviews are. Marvel fatigue for people aside, it doesn't matter. Like, it's like sort of the last big swing. People know that the OG actors are going to be involved. My concern is that I feel like the cast list for this is so big. How are they going to be able to focus attention on the people they need to focus attention to, while not just giving so many of these memorable, lovable characters like a minute of screen time, and you'd be like, oh yeah, Paul Rudd was in Doomsday.
It's too many.
Or,
Remember the
yeah.
chair thing? They made everybody sit there for like 3 hours, or it was
Exactly.
longer than that. It was like
And
6
if you're
hours.
if you're adding the X-Men into the fold, how many X-Men are there? So I don't know. I don't think this is going to be Avengers versus X-Men. I think Doctor Doom obviously being seemingly the main villain here, the Fantastic Four have to be a part of this in a big way. I just don't imagine the X-Men rolling up and them being introduced to the MCU with this new version of the X-Men, no matter what timeline it is, because Wolverine's going to be in it. Hugh Jackman's in it. So
Yeah.
what does that mean? Are all the old X-Men coming back, which I've heard rumors about, like James Marsden, Halle Berry? Is there going to be a second universe with the younger X-Men that become the X-Men? Like, that's where it gets messy with Marvel. But I don't think this is going to shift into all of a sudden we're paying Robert Downey Jr. $100 million to play Doctor Doom, but this is going to be an X-Men thing. So I don't think that's the case. But I do think the X-Men are going to appear. I'm curious how they're going to do it, because they are, obviously, we've talked about it, they're making a brand new X-Men for MCU. I think we may get an understanding of how the X-Men we knew from the Fox movies, 20th Century Fox movies, like Hugh Jackman and all those people I just talked about, how we shift from them to the MCU's X-Men, and it still be the characters, like familiar characters. That's what I think. But I don't see any of that in this image either. I know on the right side you see the Steel is making an X, but
They
that's
said that it's making an A verse X.
AVX. I know.
Because of the tent, the lighting tent thing on the left side, so it looks like it's saying AVX.
I that's a stretch to me, and it doesn't make sense to me with how loaded this movie is. So that's my opinion. But what do you think?
I have no idea, because people will post this picture, like the Russo brothers will post this, create all this buzz, all this excitement, hype, people breaking it down, and then it will be like, this soda can was something that Hugh Jackman drank out of.
Yeah, I know.
And you're like, okay, that has nothing, that what? It reminds me very much, and I don't mean to bring it back to this, but it's just top of mind, with the Star Wars Vanity Fair cover shoot that they did with Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver, where they were in the desert. And it was that beautiful landscape photo where they're both like in the desert with warm tones, and it's very like kind of romantic novel-esque. And I remember they put out this image being like, this gives away so much of the film. And I remember being like, oh my God, what is it? And everybody was breaking down the image. Like, what does it mean? Do these rocks mean something? Like, typical Star Wars fan stuff. And then they never said what that meant. They just were like, oh, this gave so much away, or, oh, there's a big hint here, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, what does this give away? And they never explained that, by the way, Vanity Fair. You never explained what this was besides them standing in the desert. Nothing. Still don't know. So I look at stuff like this and I'm like, whatever. I just see it as like, hey, they think it means one thing. They thought it was funny. They posted it, thought everybody else would see the same thing. And that's the funny thing about life, is everybody has different perspectives. So you're never going to see it exactly the way everybody else sees it.
Do you, now I'm thinking from a jaded Disney marketing and reach perspective, do you think this is the type of thing where they're like, let's see what kind of buzz this thing generates to gauge where we're at with fans? Because if it fell flat and nobody bought the search and the photo and the discussion about it, then they'd be like, oh, we're in trouble. But I think people
totally,
talking about
they could totally
online
be, no, they could totally be posting this stuff. Oftentimes
to get temperature.
Right. Oftentimes directors, producers, higher up people in the filmmaking business ecosphere aren't just posting stuff willy-nilly. I think the only person that might be that person is James Gunn, and even then I feel like he probably runs it by PR and marketing before he does it. So that being said, I'm sure they ran this image by people.
Yeah.
before they posted it on there and saying
Is
like,
there
"Is this okay?"
anything that we're not
Yeah.
seeing that will completely screw this up for us? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna post this today. Is it okay? Or they just
Right.
handed it off to whoever's managing their social media platform because I don't think the Russo brothers are managing anything. I think a
No.
PR
Yeah.
person, assistant, publicist is managing their social media platform.
Yeah. But it's
Yeah.
it looks like it got a lot of buzz online. I saw a lot of articles about it, a lot of theories about it. So people are hungry for it. They're talking about it. So expect Avengers Doomsday to make big cashola when that movie comes out.
Yeah. Well, continuing on for buzz and news, these
And
next
big
two stories.
cashola.
Yeah, these next two stories are definitely have been everywhere. It's all I see all the time outside of like obviously real world politics, which everybody's seeing. But in the entertainment business, outside of Jimmy Kimmel stuff, this has been the two biggest stories this past week. Um, First one being that Bill Burr defended performing at the controversial comedy festival in Saudi Arabia. Now, this is something that really kind of took over the comedy space with comedians here in America for weeks leading up to it. Like Tim Dillon was supposed to go here and he said something against them and then they fired him basically. They were like, "Yeah, you can't come anymore." Um, the big question has been amongst fans and other comedians, which this also included Dave Chappelle, Louis C.K., Kevin Hart, and a bunch of other people. I think Pete Davidson was there. People are just like, why would you do this? Why would you take money from people that don't have the same values of America? Freedom of speech is not there, et cetera, et cetera. It's a big kind of political push of like, why would you take money from these
How they
people?
obtain their wealth. Yeah.
Yes. And I think these comedians and many people that do stuff internationally are going, it's a paycheck. And they don't think about the ramifications or the perspectives or, the viewpoints of others. They just see it as, hey, I'm going to do this show. It's going to give me a big fat check. They're paying me a ton of money. I can support my kids and my family and my mom and buy a house and do all these things. So I'm just going to do the one show and move on with my life. But sadly, doing a show and moving on with your life doesn't always happen because there are consequences to every single choice we make. So Bill Burr took to his podcast to give a rundown on the experience from Saudi Arabia and defended his choice to be there because he's gotten a lot of flack for being there. And he said, quote, "Definitely one of the top 3 experiences I've ever had. I think it's going to lead to a lot of positive things." Now, I will say, Bill Burr is one of my favorite comedians. I think he's absolutely hilarious. And oftentimes, he, to me, is on the right side of things online. Like people getting proper health care, people getting support to live their lives, get paid great wages, raising the minimum wage, stuff like that. So it's surprising to me that he would go to this event. But again, I'm not him. It's his life choices. John, do you have a feeling about this? Are you just kind of like, whatever. I have other things to worry about.
No,
Or
I mean,
are you kind of just like surprised? Because I was just surprised he was there. It was definitely a surprise.
I've liked Bill Burr dating back to since when he was on the Chappelle show.
Yes.
And Chappelle also went to this too.
The guy, what was he? He was like one of the announcers on their like fake announcing thing.
Yeah, when they were doing
Craps
the
competition.
racial fantasy draft, and he was
that too.
Yeah. So I've always liked him. I've seen him live twice. I think he's a really smart comedian. He's very clever. He's very unique in his brand of comedy. But here's the thing about Bill Burr that I think bothered people more than other people, and I don't even think it's him defending it or anything like that. I think it's Bill Burr has always positioned himself as this common sense guy. He doesn't care if it's left wing, right wing. He calls people out on their BS. Almost to the point, though, that it's become like his thing where he's almost like becoming political without realizing it. Almost like a George Carlin was very political. He's like a modern day George Carlin in that way. And I can't imagine George Carlin ever doing this. So it's like, it does feel like a sellout because Bill Burr is kind of, he high horses people a little bit. and he's a little self-righteous, and he's always got the right answers. He always knows what to say and everything, and he puts people in their place when they're pulling BS. So it's just surprising to me because it does feel like a little bit of a sellout that he kind of threw all of that he stood for out the window. I don't want to judge him because I mean, I don't know what he was paid. I don't know exactly the details of this. So this is all, it's easy to jump on the bandwagon, but from a bullet point version of this, when you're like, where did he go? Who runs that country? How much money do they have, and why do they have that money, and how do they treat their people? And you start thinking about the basics of it. You're like, that's kind of messed up, man.
Yeah.
So I don't feel good about it at all. I don't buy his whole thing about they're just like us. And it's like, maybe the people there do have senses of humor and they like Western culture. Saddam Hussein, like, loved American comedies and stuff. Like, they're not detached from our brand of humor and stuff. So, like, vile dictators like a lot of Americana and Western culture, like pop culture and stuff like that. But when it comes down to it, it's like he's saying this is going to make things better and stuff. It's like, well, hold on now then. Are you now saying like you're changing the world? It's like, no, dude, you took a lot of money to go do a comedy show. And I bet if you hooked him up to a lie detector test, he would say like, I don't feel morally good about this. But Dave Chappelle said he was going to do it. So if Dave is going to do it, I'm going to do it, or vice versa, whatever. It doesn't make me feel good. I'm a big Bill Burr fan. I kind of wish he pulled a Bill Burr and said, I wanted the money. I wanted the money. Like if he came out and said, I did
That's
it for
what
the money.
Tim Dillon said. Tim Dillon was like, I'm
Did
going
he?
to start
Okay.
paying me a ton
Don't
of money.
say,
And
"Oh,
everyone,
they have
he
a
was like, I
Chili's
don't care. I'm
there."
taking the ton of money. Yeah, that's
They
what he
have a
said. And then they
Starbucks-
canceled on him.
Yeah, they have a Starbucks and Chili's there. And then someone was like, yeah, and did you know 42 miles north or south from where you did that comedy show is where they behead people? And it's like, I think about that. I think about WWE they're going to be holding WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia now. And
Didn't
it's like
Saudi Arabia just buy EA too?
They did, and they're using AI for their games.
Yep.
Also, I saw them do something where Tom Brady, where he's like throwing footballs for them like a puppet. And I'm like,
And Beyonce went over there and played a concert.
yeah, I'm like, who's going to be like, fuck you guys. I'm not doing this. And
well, there
I'm
are people
sorry.
that said that. Shane Gillis, Mark Maron, who I love Mark Maron.
Oh, Mark Maron. Yeah, I know he did. I didn't know Shane Gillis did.
David Cross did too. And David Cross said, quote, I am disgusted and deeply disappointed in the whole gross thing.
Were they invited, though? That's the question.
I don't know. That people I admire with unarguable talent would condone this totalitarian fiefdom for what? A fourth house? A boat? More sneakers? We can never again take seriously anything these comedians complain about. I think they're deliberately calling out Bill Burr here.
Yeah. Well, Chappelle, too. Who else went to this?
Louis C.K. I'm sorry. You're bringing yourself in with a headlining Louis C.K.
That guy is, I think he's openly like, I'm an a-hole. And if you like me, fine.
An a-hole that has like done horrible, horrific things. He's not just a bad guy. Like he's done terrible things.
No, well, I'm referring to
terrible things. Yeah.
His exploits. But
yeah,
I don't like it. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm disappointed and I'm upset. And I don't know if that's going to make me stop like watching Bill Burr comedy specials or anything like that. But I hope he wears this for a long time. And I hope it's not something that gets swept under the rug. But the way things are today, it might be forgotten because every day there's a new big thing in the news, sadly.
I mean, it is kind of crazy. You have opinion writers like Zija Alim, who went on MSNBC and said that clearly this event was misleading the image of the country's incremental efforts to liberalize. This comedy festival functions as fundamentally as propaganda, allowing the country to falsely present an image of an open society, when in fact the government remains hostile to democratic civil liberties tied to freedom of speech and assembly. So one of the things I had seen online was someone was saying, yeah, haha, Bill Burr makes this joke. If someone left that comedy, special festival and then tweeted said joke, they would be found and beheaded. So it's like,
yeah. And like how much security was he flanked by? Were they ever in anywhere remotely in a tough spot? It's like, don't go there and be like, they're just like us and say dumb shit like that, Bill Burr. Like, just say you took the bag and own it. And I hope he wears this on a chin for a while, because Bill Burr always seems to be the guy to always have the last, the last jab or the last line, and he's never caught off guard, or he never flinches when people like try to put him in awkward situations. He always has a zinger or an answer. Like, he's always like tries to be the smartest guy in the room because he's so like common sense. He tries to be that guy all the time. He's always slouched back like, oh, I don't know, they're all blah blah blah. And now he's being like, no, they're just like us and stuff like that. It's like, dude, he seems so full of S on this, and it's just it annoys me.
It's hard, especially when he comments on other countries' happenings and the way they operate and the way they treat their people, and then you're going to go to the country that does similar things and say that they don't, or act like they don't.
It just doesn't make me feel.
It's hypocritical.
And that's all.
Yeah. Well, something that's also not going to make you feel good, because I don't think this made anybody feel good, especially SAG, who released a statement about it, which was that talent agent circles are circling AI actress Tilly Norwood as studios quietly embrace AI technology. Now, this came out of nowhere for me when I saw this online. I was like, what is this? I have no idea what this is. I guess they had some big seminar or boardrooms in the past 6 months where they were pitching the idea of like making movies with specific AI actresses, as in people that do not exist. A woman that is a program that says the lines how you want her to say them, has an accent, doesn't have an accent.
Actress.
Not an actress, literally
not
a chatbot. They're talking about a chatbot.
A program, yeah.
Yeah, so actor, comedian, technologist Aline van der Velden, which sounds like an evil scientist, has revealed that her recently launched AI talent studio Exconia is in talks with a number of agents interested in signing its first creation, AI Tilly Norwood. So she went to a bunch of different kind of meetups with people in the AI space. And she said, quote, "We were in a lot of boardrooms around February and everyone was like, no, this is nothing. It's not going to happen. Then by May, people were like, we need to do something with you guys. When we first launched Tilly, people were like, what's that? And now we're going to be announcing which agency is going to be representing her in the next few months." Like, this is...
What does that mean?
This
what does that mean?
For like commercials,
but
social
it's not
media.
A person.
So the craziest thing about this is when it came up on my feed days ago, I was like, Tilly Norwood. And then I looked into it. I was like, oh, this is messed up. Let me look into this. I then went to the social media profiles that they push of this Tilly Norwood. They present Tilly like it's an actual person.
I know.
Nowhere in the caption does it say this is AI. It's not tagged as AI, which you're supposed to legally do on Instagram, Facebook, X, anything. You're supposed to have some type of tag that lets people know it's AI, kind of like what you do when you sponsor something. You're supposed to say, this is sponsored. This is an ad. It's so unregulated. It's wild. And that's why you're seeing stupid people make videos of grandma jumping off a boat. And people are like, oh my God, the grandma. And you're like, there was a shark the size of Jupiter coming out of the water. I think grandma's okay. This is clearly a fake video. The wild thing is, for me at least, is that one, this is clearly taking jobs from people that are actual actors. You're taking the humanity out of actors, film, storytelling, all that stuff, which we've talked about numerous times. My other issue is, out of all the people and things they could have created with AI, why is it a young girl that they chose to make for this? I'm going to be honest. Like, it's really weird to me that they're like selling this young teenager that they can tell to do anything they want.
Oh, you think it's like a perverted thing? Or
it's weird. Like, why wouldn't you make a grown woman? Why wouldn't you make a dude? Why wouldn't you make a dog? You can make a dog talk.
Yeah, what about a pig that can act like Babe,
Like, why is it a young, seemingly 14-year-old girl that you're like, hi, I'm Tilly, and you're like, this is inappropriate. Like, there's no child laws to protect Tilly, even though she's AI.
Yeah.
Like,
hold on, don't say that. We don't need any of that. It's not a thing.
I'm just saying, like, there's nothing there to stop them from doing whatever they want. And then also the bigger piece here is like, I don't understand how AI is being used to create art. And I wouldn't even use the word art, to create slop, art slop.
Well, I think my take on it, like the bigger picture here is like whenever the stuff like this happens,
Mm-hmm.
it's people are always like, oh, it's just one thing and stuff like that. But then you have to introduce the element of escalation. This is step one. And then where does
This is
this
6
go?
months of step one. So they met
Yeah.
with people 6 months ago that were like, never. And now they're meeting with the same people.
So then it's where does it go from here? What is this in 10 years? Also, I guess my two main points about it is like if they are positioning it purposely to try to tell us that it's a person, even though it's AI, they're like, no, this is a person. And they keep doing that. Eventually, we're going to find ourselves in some sort of a culture war where it's like AI has rights too, and AI has feelings. And then people are going to be defending AI as though they are human beings. And then we're going to get into a really big, like, mind F mess with this stuff. I'm not saying right now, but eventually it's going to become, the lines are going to blur, and they're going to make sure it blurs, because at this point in 2025, I don't think there is one thing a movie studio wouldn't do to save a nickel. And if you don't have to pay, name an actress.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, if you don't have to pay Jennifer Lawrence $15 million for a movie because you have Tilly, they're going to do it. And until it's going to be up to the consumer, the people, to not watch this stuff, pay to watch this stuff, buy this stuff, promote
Yeah.
this stuff.
Yeah.
And I think talk about it, but talk about it in the serious way that AI is very dangerous. And even the people who have created AI are saying it's dangerous. James Cameron, of course, he's got to toot his own horn. He's like, I warned you all 40 years ago. This isn't a joke. And we're sort of living in the early stages of it now. And you know this stuff's going to get in the hands of more serious stuff in terms of political warfare, a lot of things like that. Like, this
How
is
about
all
energy
very...
usage? Like
Oh, yeah,
chatbots and
energy
data
usage.
usage
So
up
this
49% in Virginia because people
So
are using chatbots.
I agree with you that it's like, yeah, it's horrible for actors and art, and we've banged that drum forever on this
Yeah.
pod and of course on TRB,
Yeah.
and our individual social media outputs. But I think this is beyond movies. Like, this is going to become a human problem across the board, and it just makes me feel very uncertain, and I just really don't like any of this, and I think it's going to be up to the collective of people to reject this.
Like
And that
Jimmy
means,
Kimmel, the same thing. People did. People chose to.
yeah, do not
Yeah.
watch this shit. Do not support this crap. Even if they make a movie that you're like, wow, this looks amazing, you got to stand up against this stuff. And you have to remember, no matter how good they make this person look, they may even do interviews with this AI person
Yes.
on like podcasts. Like, it's going to get crazy. And then we're going to start forgetting that that's not a real person. It's sort of like that movie AI with Haley Joel Osment. He plays this little boy.
It reminded me of
And-
Blade Runner with Joy, played
Yes.
by Ana de Armas, and there's multiple versions of her, and he can
Oh, yeah.
program her to be what she wants. He wants her to
And
be.
Sean Young in the original, Rachel. Yeah. It's gonna get dangerous, and it makes me really concerned. And I'm just saying people need to look further ahead at what this is going to become on a larger scale, general level than it is just this. None of this is good, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, and one of my concerns also, away from just the actor stuff, is just basic human connection. I think every day we see the effects of social media and this kind of thing, especially ChatGPT now, where people are using it for therapy, people are using it as friends, people are acting like they're dating these things. It's not healthy. It's not healthy for anybody because
No,
it's not a real
it isn't.
person, and you lose
No.
that interaction. And that's why there are a lot of people that are walking around angry, depressed, just ready to attack because they're living their life like they're in a comment section, because they're not living like there's other human beings around them.
There's
I
nothing.
I
this
worry
doesn't
that we're
escalate.
losing empathy, or
Yeah.
we already have lost it, but even more so.
There's nothing good. Like, nothing good comes of the progression of this.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, let's
Let's
try
get
to
into
end on a good
some
note.
other good things. Yeah.
We can never leave the house and would just probably sit around all weekend and watch TV.
Go on.
I have to laugh. We went from Doomsday to Bill Burr to AI. Just like
Look, I mean, you can't. I feel passionate about talking about this stuff, and hopefully our audience does too. There's, we have fun
I
on
like
this
staying.
show, but
I like
yeah.
staying up to on what's
Yeah.
going on in the world. I
Yeah.
do it in doses now. I've gotten
Mhm.
much healthier about it,
Yeah.
which I say all the time. The best thing you can do is take breaks, because
Lacey,
everything is just tailored to get you to react.
What have you been watching this past week?
I actually watched a couple episodes of Seinfeld.
Yes.
I have a lot of things on my to watch list, and you guys know that for weeks. I still have Wednesday. I have all these things. There's a lot of things going on, from school to family events to birthday parties, that it's like by the time I get home, it's 9 p.m. and I am literally falling asleep. So I have to do it when I'm actually paying attention. So the other night when I was eating dinner, I watched a couple episodes of Seinfeld, and I have to say, a couple thoughts. One, I think Jason Alexander and what's Elaine's real name?
Julie Louis-Dreyfus.
They outact Jerry Seinfeld like wow in every scene.
Everyone does.
Like
yeah.
they are overacting him and everybody else. Like I would say those two are the best on the show. Every scene.
Oof.
What are you saying oof about?
Michael Richards? No.
Michael Richards, great. He's third. I would say it's probably
Oh.
Jason Alexander,
Wow. All right.
Elaine, Kramer.
Okay.
That's my rating. And then Jerry's
right.
like 50 down than Jerry. I don't find Jerry funny at all, but the rest of them are funny. Anyway, I was watching my favorite episode. I have 2 episodes that are like my favorite episodes that I've never laughed harder. One is the letters, where they find the letters from the guy in the cabin.
Lon Chaney, who we talked about, I don't know where, but we talked about Lon Chaney recently.
We definitely did. I think he's in Nightmare Before Christmas. He's the evil scientist guy. I think that's what you had said. His voice is the...
No, isn't Lon Chaney long dead by then?
I don't think so. It's 90s, 97, 96.
Lon Chaney died in 1930.
What?
Yeah.
Or was he born in 1930?
He died in 1930.
Then who is Lon Chaney? What are you talking about?
Lon Chaney Jr. died in 1973. That's probably who we're looking at here. Yes.
That's not possible. Seinfeld didn't. What are you talking about?
Lon Chaney. So the letters in Seinfeld aren't like Lon Chaney's not in Seinfeld.
I thought you were saying the actor's name was Lon Chaney.
No, so Lon Chaney is an actor, and apparently he was Susan's dad's lover, like secret lover. And he sent them
that's
letters.
what it is. Okay,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying the actor's
My
name.
letters.
I was like, how is the actor in there if he died in 1930?
No, I think it's Lon Chaney Jr., but no, everyone always called him Lon Chaney. And yeah,
Well,
he was in
anyway,
like the old horror movies and stuff. Yeah.
The scene where they roll up and they're about to go to the movie and the whole thing unravels and they're like, "Get your wheels off the rug." Like, I couldn't breathe. I was laughing so hard. I was in a hotel room in Florida at an expo, like doing marketing work. And I was editing late. It was on the TV. I couldn't breathe. Didn't watch that episode though. Second favorite episode. Well, I would say this is my favorite episode. Marine Biologist is my favorite episode.
That's a great one.
It's my favorite Seinfeld episode of all time. The buildup is there. The reveal at the end. The George moments are just top notch. Just so perfect. And every time I watch it, I crack up. Like I die. And I think one of the parts that's my favorite is at the end when he reveals the golf ball, there's one person in the audience that gets it before everybody else. And
Yeah,
they're
it's
like,
a woman who yelps.
she's like, ah.
Yeah.
So I lose it every time, but I was just reminding, like, I really miss like a good sitcom like that. And I think that's why I like The Office so much.
I mean,
like,
yeah.
it's like a once in a lifetime type sitcom. And yeah, it reminded me like everything we were talking about before, like sometimes you just got to throw on something and laugh because it's got it you got to laugh a little bit.
And what's really cool about Seinfeld is, I mean, one, you realize that it was really Larry David.
George
Like,
Costanza?
no, but I mean, like, it's called Seinfeld and it's Jerry's show, but Larry David made that thing run, baby.
He's in Marine Biologist. He goes, "Is anybody a marine biologist?"
Yeah. Oh, he's everywhere. He pops in everywhere. But if you ever watch Curb or even hear Larry David like go on his rants, and then you look at all the side characters throughout the story of Seinfeld and how they deliver lines and stuff, you can tell that Larry made sure they used certain tones and deliveries to make lines funnier.
Yeah.
Like that show is just total DNA of Larry David. Like Kramer was his real neighbor in real life. George is based on him. He had a friend like Elaine, but Jerry got the vehicle because he was getting big in stand-up, so he pulled Larry in to do it. But once Larry David left Seinfeld after season 7, it changed completely. It turned into more of a comic book type of zany, wild show. Even George got a little too ridiculous. Elaine went over the top. Kramer still was in the pocket, but everyone else got more like Kramer. It was kind of strange.
Standardized or whatever it's called. Like The Office.
Yes, yeah. So you can tell, but anyway, I'm going on a rant here. You watch Seinfeld. Cool.
Yeah, I watched Marine Biologist. It's my favorite episode. And that one,
great.
and when, I don't know what episode it is. I'm sure you know which one it is. Where George at the end looks up and yells "Con."
Oh, was that the dealership one with the Twix?
It might be. I don't know.
Because he yells Twix.
I don't know, but Marine Biologist is just so good. And it made me laugh so hard because it's like the whole bit of like, oh yeah, I told you were a marine biologist. And the realization of George being like, but why did you do that? Like,
I always wanted to pretend to be an architect. Yeah.
Yeah. And the joke for me is like, in real life, if someone did that to me and was like, oh, I told them you were a plumber, I would then immediately be like, oh, they were joking. I'm not really a plumber. But the fact that every single time George goes along with it kills me. Like every time he's like, well, I guess I'm and she goes, well, do you want to talk about anything else? He's like, we could talk about architecture.
Yeah, George lives by living the lie.
The lie.
His line, Jerry, it's not a lie if you believe it. Like, yeah.
He's so good. He's so good. And
he's great.
He just knocks it out of the park every single time. So does Elaine. Kramer's great too, but like those two, every scene they're in, I'm like, oh my God, they're so good.
Yeah.
I got to watch Veep. That's another one on my list.
Yeah, I watched some of that. It is good. I love Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I love that whole
so great.
crew. But Michael Richards for me is like he's on the Mount Rushmore. But oh, and he returned to stand up for the first time since his incident, and like he got like an ovation, and he's like fine. Like I feel like he's been haunted by that day.
He got canceled, right?
Yeah, because of his outburst 20 years ago. But I think people are like finally like forgiving him, and it's
oh my God, with everything people say online now.
Yeah, and he does seem like a good guy. Like he's a dark guy. Like this turned into a Seinfeld podcast, but he's the one character that would hardly ever break on Seinfeld, and he would get annoyed when they would break. If you watch the bloopers, he's very serious about his craft.
I've seen the shot where he like comes in and they start laughing, and he leaves, and he comes in and they start laughing, and you could see him getting annoyed.
Especially if he does a good pratfall or something, and he knows it to be a wasted take. He's like, "Come on!" And he's like, the one time there's my favorite blooper. Please look it up. Him and Jerry are walking down the street like they do at the beginning of all the episodes. It's one of the more like later seasons where they always start in the street, and it's not Jerry doing his stand up. Jerry wants to go into the store, and it says no food, and Kramer just got like a hot dog. So Kramer starts eating the whole thing, and Michael Richards has this whole thing in his mouth. And Jerry starts laughing and falling, and Michael Richards grabs him by the arm and goes, no, and picks him up, and he's like, I'm not doing this again. He's like, stop laughing. Like, because he has to do all the physical stuff. His hair on fire.
Throw himself. Yeah.
Watch the bloopers and watch Michael Richards. Like, the guy is all business.
Oh.
But anyway, I watched Weapons finally. I know I've been talking about it for a while.
Oh, did you watch it by yourself?
I did.
Yeah, good idea.
Really good movie. I was engaged the whole time. Very suspenseful. I was never bored. I was with it the whole way. The cast does such a great job, especially Julie Garner. She's really good. Alden Ehrenreich was great. He didn't have the biggest role, but I love the guy, and I thought he was great. The only thing about it was, and I'm not going to give anything away,
Mm-hmm.
the ending sort of fell a little flat for me.
Ooh, really?
But it's a really good movie with a really good theme, and I won't give away what the theme is because that might give away like the story.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also not one of those movies where in the final frames you find out the twist. You get it, and then it elaborates a bit from there. But it was really good. I really enjoyed watching it. I was highly entertained by it. So I recommend watching Weapons.
Did you ever look up the original cast of Weapons?
No.
It was supposed to be Pedro Pascal of Josh Brolin. It was supposed to be Pedro Pascal.
I'm glad they went with Josh Brolin.
Yeah, and
Josh
then
Brolin is
Alden
great.
Ehrenreich was supposed to be Tom Burke.
Who's Tom Burke?
I guess he was in the Furiosa movie, one of the Mad Max movies.
Oh, okay. Why did they make all these switch ups? Was it?
I
did
think
it
the
change
switch.
hands, the studio or something?
No, I think it was like striking, maybe something related to production or scheduling. Something got delayed, so they had to switch like the main actress out. It was Reneev was the
Well,
original main character, and then it changed to Julia Gardner. And I'd seen this a couple days ago that they'd post this online because everyone was like, "Oh, did you know this?" And I
yeah.
was like, "Oh my god!" Again, Pedro Pascal was supposed to play like Josh Brolin's character.
They got the right guy. Josh Brolin was great. I
Mhm.
even think he might be a better actor than Pedro Pascal. I think Josh Brolin's awesome. So
His
more
name's
Josh
Archer,
Brolin,
isn't
better.
it?
Yeah. Or his son's name is Archer, or he's Archer. Yeah.
I think he's Archer
Yeah.
because I saw it online that he was. I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
no, people are
Yeah.
going to start naming their kids Archer."
Alden Ehrenreich plays a cop, and he's got this big mustache.
Yeah, yeah. I heard he's
No,
really
but
good.
yeah, he was great. He's always great. The movie was definitely engaging. It makes you think. It's a little disturbing, but it's not too bad.
Did you get
But
the messaging? The messaging and the undertones? Yeah.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, I recommend people watching. It was a really good movie. And unique in its own right. And then I've started watching Peacemaker season 2 for the DCU element. Lex Luthor's in this series. I haven't gotten to that point yet. I'm not caught up to their live broadcast in terms of how they put them out. I'm 3 episodes in. I'm going to go. Another hot take for me. John Cena is a better actor than The Rock and Dave Bautista.
People are saying that, but then they're showing his new wrestling movie or boxing movie or whatever it is.
Oh, The Rock?
Yeah, and they're saying, how could anybody ever
talking-
say this? And I was like, but this movie isn't out yet.
And it's also about a fighter. It's like, like, hey, Dwayne, do you think you can pull off being huge and fighting people in a ring? He's like, I don't know, guys. Might be a stretch for me.
I mean, John Cena coming out naked, actually naked at the Oscars to do that whole costuming bit was better acting than most people.
He's really good in Peacemaker. I didn't watch season 1 because it was DCEU. I'm like, I'm not even bothering.
Yeah.
And they changed things for the end of season 1 to be the Justice Gang versus the DCEU. I don't know if you saw that stuff.
I did see that.
This is good. Season 2 of Peacemaker is really good. It is not shortchanged on budget. I'm really been enjoying it. And then I have begun my Stranger Things rewatch. I am about to finish season 1.
You should start. Yeah, good idea. Smart starting now.
And it's just and I'm watching it casually. I'm not like too dialed in, but it is bringing things back and making me think about, oh wow, okay, so if they call this back and this back, and I am starting to believe that they will not be doing the "it was all a dream" thing. So that's good.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But that's it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's the end of the show. A little bit of a long one, but we had a lot of trailers and I think a lot of really good discussions. So I had a good time, Lacey. I hope you did too. And more importantly, I hope you all out there listening and supporting us on this pod. And of course, the Resistance broadcast had a good time. Just a reminder, Nerdy and Nice pod on social media. Nerdy and Nice is on its own podcast feed, but the video version's right here on the TRB YouTube channel. Please subscribe to all. That's all free. And if you want to support us additionally, please go to Patreon. That's patreon.com/TRB podcasts. You can start supporting us with just $5 per month. And we have a lot of bonus podcasts on there. We have a Discord server for tiers 3 and up. We have watch-alongs we do. We just did a Nightmare Before Christmas last week. It was such a good time. We've done Indiana Jones. We did Labyrinth, and we're going to do another one in a couple months, probably for holiday time.
Christmas,
Uh,
yeah.
And a lot of other stuff on our Patreon. So if you like what we do and you're able to support us, I know things are a little tough right now for a lot of people. Please head over to Patreon and join us. If you want to even just start at the $5 tier and maybe you find you love it and you want to go up the tiers, that's awesome too. We do appreciate any and all support, including people who just listen to the show. So thank you.
And share it.
very
Yeah.
much
Just
for that.
telling someone else about the show is
Spread the word, baby.
awesome.
Yep. For me, if you want to hit me up to talk about any of the things we talked about or anything, Johnny Hoey on Blue Sky is my main spot. Also on X here and there. And then I have a movie podcast, Just Like the Movies. And of course, with Lacey every week, the Resistance broadcast, which we just returned to TRB Live. So join us live, join us after. But you're getting 2 episodes from us from both these shows every week. And that's the way we like it. Lacey, where can people chat about all this stuff with you?
People can find me on social media at Lacey Gilleran or at It's Lacey Gilleran on TikTok. And then also, this isn't necessarily pop culture related, kind of. We do have new merch for TRB and Star Wars related stuff at trbpodcast.com. There's also nerdy and nice sweatshirts and t-shirts up there if you're interested in supporting us in another way. We are working on designs that are more kind of pop culture driven and not just Star Wars, but right now we're just going through a Star Wars collection. So
well, the
stay tuned.
JJ can be for non-Star Wars.
It totally can be.
Yeah.
But if you're just looking for something comfy or a gift or something coming up for the holiday season for a Star Wars loving fan, or you just want to celebrate yourself, treat yourself. It's coming up. Treat Yourself Day is coming up in October.
Yep.
Head over trbpodcast.com.
All right. Thank you all so much. We'll be back next week with another episode. Resistance broadcast will be on Wednesday night live this week. And then on your podcast apps, either late that night or Thursday morning. But I mean, we haven't talked about it, but we're probably going to be shifting that back normally to Thursdays again live.
Yes, this is just a one-off that it's not that this day.
But that's it. We hope you enjoy the show. We hope you have a great week. We hope your October and your spooky season is off to a nice, crispy, fun fall start. And as always, we'll see you next time right here on Nerdy and Nice. See you around, kids.